Hi everybody, this is Garret,
And Sebastian.
and we're from Texel Raptor, and we're celebrating Parkitect's 5th anniversary. We just wanted to give a thank you to the community for playing the game for so long, and we're going to answer a couple of questions that people might be interested in.
So I always enjoyed playing team park games and had some ideas over the years what would be a good addition for a new type of team park game. And then one day I just started working on a roller coaster simulation for fun, and that somehow turned into this game.
Texel Raptor started because we basically had to make a company to kickstart the game, as well as just have a presence to publish the game as, and for people to recognize us as developers moving forward. As for why it's Texel Raptor, this is a combination of two names Sebastian and I came up with, which is Glad Raptor, which is my side of things, and Happy Texel, which is his side of things, and that became the entity that made Parkitect. For me, the most satisfying feature was seeing the art go from placeholder to in-game, especially the roller coasters, because for so long they existed as kind of white boxes or boxes moving along rails, and seeing the final art go in and the guests interacting with them, and then of course seeing what people could build with them was always very exciting, especially for me as an artist. And you kind of lose sight of what things actually look like because they're usually built in pieces, especially the coasters.
I would say for me it's probably the decoration rating system, because this was a fairly complicated thing for us to add, and we tried to do it in 2 or 3 different ways over the years. And yeah, once it was finally in the game, we were really happy about that it worked out and how well it works. And what's also really nice about it is that it was really a team effort. We had like all the programmers come together and figure out how to do it.
I really like how players interact with the campaign differently in the way they kind of build unique solutions to every level. But more from a creative perspective, how everybody builds different looking parks and solves it in different ways, because it was always kind of built to kind of provide a direction for players in a creative standpoint, but players find completely unique ways to build parks and be creative in ways that we would never have expected.
Probably seeing all the creative stuff that people come up with, like all the crazy parks and combining scenery items in ways that we didn't anticipate. Yeah, that's really cool.
I think the community likes a lot of things about the game, but if I had to narrow it down, it would be modding is up there on the list, because you can accomplish a lot in the game with modding that we never thought to or we never intended to, and that's totally fine. But also I think the community really enjoys the old school feel of the game, in that it kind of adheres to old tycoon game design principles. We try to balance the business side of the gameplay with the creative side of the gameplay, and we try to do that without causing problems for the other. So we want to encourage people to build very creative parks, very big parks, but also have to deal with all the management. And the behind the scenes stuff is always very well received, as well as the decoration stuff. We tried to make that somewhat realistic. It's hard to pick just one because there's so many. There's a ton of asset mods now, a ton of custom rides, and I love all of those, and I love seeing the community adding to the game, even though we're not really developing it anymore. Like, we'll have more on that later, but it's just been cool to see the community keep going and kind of take it into its own hands and keep making cool things. But to narrow it down more, I think both Sebastian and I really like the Construction Anarchy mods, even though it completely breaks the game in ways we would never have intended and never have made ourselves, but it allows people to make some really cool things if they want to play the game in a little bit more of an advanced manner and kind of just like deal with the risks that come with that, which is totally cool. So currently the studio is working on a new game project. And unfortunately, we're not the kind of studio that can work on multiple projects at the same time. So right now we are not currently working on DLC for Parkitect. But that isn't to say we might not in the future, but I can't confirm anything here. However, we have heard the community would like a console version of the game, and hopefully you hear something more about that very soon.
Probably seeing all the enthusiasm for the game, especially from the modding community. Like, the game wasn't even properly released yet, and the first mods appeared. That was really crazy to see. Thanks for playing Parkitect for all these years, and thanks for allowing us to make games. We really appreciate it.
Thank you all so much.